Good afternoon, everybody. Dominique here from Body and Mind Yoga. If you tuned in last week to my live video, I discussed a little bit about my top 5 ways of getting involved in fitness, whether you are brand new or I touched a little bit on returning into exercise. So I wanted to stop in today and talk more specifically about one of the elements from that live video, and my next several live videos will have a more focused approach on each of those individual 5 things. So the first thing I wanted to talk about today was the first thing that I mentioned in that live video, which was setting goals. Setting goals is super important. If somebody came to me and said, I want to get more active, I want to get involved in working out, I want to have a healthier approach to my lifestyle. The first question I would say, okay, what are you looking to do? Some people have a goal of increasing their energy. Some people have a weight loss goal. Some people have a goal to get stronger or perhaps a little bit more mobility. And each of these factors are going to change the approach in the way that you approach fitness. Somebody who's looking to build muscle, get stronger, may not potentially go to your average yoga class where mobility is the focus. So just an example of where you could go with things. So one of the reasons that this is really important is it's going to give you direction. So even if you are talking about strength training, did you know that there are different ways to strength train depending on what your goal is? When I worked with clients, I have specific types of training that we go through, and even if it may not make sense at the time because one phase may not be exactly why you're looking to get into strength training, then the reason for this is that this particular phase that we're working on is going to make the other phases that are going towards your goals that much better. So, for instance, I have a client who was not interested in burning any fat. However, we took a very small portion, smaller than usual, of the fat burning phase to make the muscle building phase a little bit better. So there's a lot of education that happens, so I don't want to bore you with the details, but just an idea of kind of where you're going. When you have direction, you will then know, okay, what type of workout am I going to do? What type of class am I going to go to? And learning about these differences in the way you're going to approach things. When you're working with somebody, you will get the education of how these classes, these workouts are going to build towards you achieving your goals. So education is super important. This will also help make things a little bit more achievable when you understand why you are doing them. And we want to make sure that it is achievable for you in a bunch of different ways, not just so you understand that, maybe losing 50 pounds in a month, not going to happen. It just won't. I'm picking a really big number here, so that way you know that, it's really not going to happen. But educating you and figuring out what also works with your schedule and making sure that this goal stays in line with your schedule. And sometimes it requires taking that goal and breaking it down to an even smaller goal, so that way it won't take forever for you to reach that goal. So maybe you do have a weight loss goal. And I always go back to weight loss, even though I don't weigh any of my clients, but it seems to be kind of at the forefront of everyone's mind. But if you had a goal of losing 10 pounds, we wouldn't look at the big picture. We'd break it down week by week. So maybe 1 pound to 2 pounds a week is a sustainable weight loss. Any more than that, and there's a chance that you'll bounce back, but that is a completely different story. So breaking these things down into smaller, more achievable things. Something I prefer is when I have somebody who's working with me who would like to incorporate healthier eating into their lifestyle. We're not just going to change their entire meal plan to suit this healthier lifestyle. We're going to take little bits at a time. So, okay, can you replace one snack that normally would have been a bag of potato chips and a diet pop with perhaps fruit or vegetables? Just one snack a day, maybe even just one snack a week if that feels more achievable. Whatever it is that feels achievable for you, that's the first goal we're going to set. And once you get really comfortable with that, then we can expand that goal into something else. Another thing super important is to give your goal a quantity. Give it a time frame. Give it a number of some kind. So I'm not necessarily talking about weight, as I mentioned. Weight loss in terms of the number that shows up on the scale, not something I'm super fond of, because even in myself, I noticed that before I started working out, so back in my early 20s, I was super obsessed with the number on the scale and making sure it stayed low. And I found that once I got involved, especially in a career with fitness, I actually looked a lot leaner at 145 pounds than I did at 120 pounds. So an example of how that scale is not necessarily representative of how you look, how you feel, especially if any kind of muscle toning, strength training is going to be part of your goal. So give that goal a quantity. So for instance, if you decide you want to have 3 snacks a week involving vegetables, you will know when you achieve that goal, whether it's writing it down or just you have a really good memory and you can figure out exactly when you had those 3 pieces of fruit or vegetables or whatnot, or replacing those snacks. And again, doing it within the week, another quantity that when you get to the end of the week, you know whether you have succeeded or not. So lots of ways to kind of take the bigger picture of your goal, shrink it down into a smaller picture, and that way you end up feeling a whole lot more successful with your goals as you're approaching each little one much more quickly as you are working towards that bigger goal. So what does goal setting and what do those tiny goals give you? They give you increased motivation and increased focus. You know the direction that you're going in, and you're going to get there, even if it's step by step by step. So increased motivation, increased focus, self-confidence, because now you know why you were doing what you were doing to achieve your goal. If you started off like me with my little fitness magazine of 7 ways to the best booty you've ever had, I had no idea why I was doing those things, and I didn't really know at the time what these things are doing for me. And it turned out I didn't really need the best booty of my life at that time. I just wanted to kind of tone up all over. Booty was involved, but it wasn't the only thing that I was looking at. So self-confidence, knowing where you're going, empowerment. You are taking control of your goals. You are setting them up and making sure that you are able to take those goals and again, take them to the next level, step by step by step. That way you don't burn out. You don't feel like you're failing because you weren't able to change your entire meal plan in 1 week. That is a lot of work to do and a lot of shock to the system. And even when it goes from working out, going from not working out to working out 5-6 days a week, you're going to kind of lose motivation because you are creating a lot of change and your body needs that time to adapt to those changes. So just a few things to keep in mind as you are going forward into either re-entering the fitness world, or if you are brand new, goal setting, goal setting, goal setting. I hated goal setting. I was one of those people like, what difference does it make if I write it down or not? It's only in the last year or so that I realized that when I write things down, they actually happen. And when I get specific, when I get really specific at things, the more that those things come to fruition. So I hope this helped you out in some way, shape, or form. If any of this resonated with you at all, please feel free to like and comment below, commenting on it below. Make sure that more people see it, and feel free to reach out to me anytime, whether it is through that comment or if you're not quite comfortable leaving a comment, then send me a quick DM. So with that said, I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Good luck on your goals, guys. Thanks.